Hello everyone, Prasad Domala here. Today I'll show you how to install and configure Oracle Identity and Access Management 11.123 version. Oracle Identity and Access Management Suite has many components like Oracle Identity Manager, Oracle Access Manager, Oracle Adaptive Access Manager, Entitlement Server, Privileged Account Manager, and Oracle Access Management Mobile. I'll be configuring the main and most commonly used components today, which are Oracle Identity Manager and Oracle Access Manager. Let me briefly tell you about these two components before jumping into the installation process. Oracle Identity Manager is used to manage identities, that's nothing but users and their privileges. It also provides self-service and password management functionalities. And it automates the process of creating, updating and deleting user accounts, and it's capable of synchronizing identities from different sources like LDAP servers and databases. And OIM acts as a central management system from which you can manage identities from different sources. This process of synchronization is called as reconciliation. And OIM also provides extensive auditing capabilities. It helps administrators to keep track of what changes are done, by whom and when, and in what context. OIM comes with built-in BI publisher as well for reporting functionalities. Now coming to the Access Manager. Access Manager is an enterprise single sign-on solution. It provides authentication and authorization capabilities for web or desktop applications. It provides SSO capabilities which eliminates the need for multiple authentications. It basically adds a filter called as WebGate in front of a web server or application server, which basically filters all HTTP requests and bypasses it to Access Manager, which authenticates and authorizes the end user before passing the request to the application. This WebGate is a component which is installed on each application server or web server where the protected application is hosted, and all these web gates will be talking to a central Access Manager server, which can be configured as a single node or clustered node. Based on the policies set by the administrator, OIM allows or restricts access to the applications, and OIM can also be integrated with any LDAP server to act as user store for authentication purposes. And we can also integrate Oracle Identity Manager and Oracle Access Manager. When these two components are integrated, OIM adds user and password management capabilities to OAM, like forgot password or forgot user ID, setting challenge questions and answers, self-registration and password policy management, etc. For this integration, we need to enable something called as LDAP synchronization feature, which I'll be showing as well during OIM configuration today. This synchronization happens in both directions. That is, when you make changes directly in the backend LDAP, you can see those changes in OIM and vice versa. That's a brief overview of Oracle Identity Manager and Oracle Access Manager. Now let me tell you about the environment we'll be building today. I'll be using Oracle Linux 6 virtual machine. First, we'll create a middleware home by installing Oracle WebLogic Server 10.3.6, and in the same middleware home, we'll be installing Oracle Server Suite 11.119 version. Server Suite is required only for Oracle Identity Manager and will be used for approval workflows. If you don't intend to use OIM, you can skip Server Suite installation. Next, we'll be installing Oracle Identity and Access Management product, again in the same middleware home. Once the product binaries are installed, we'll be creating a OIAM domain, inside which we'll have an admin server, WLS OIM, which is our Identity Manager, and WLS underscore SOA, which is SOA Suite Managed Server, and we'll have WLS underscore BIP, which is Business Intelligence Publisher used for reporting. And we'll have WLS underscore OAM, which is Oracle Access Manager, and we'll also have OAM PM, which is OAM Policy Manager, and finally MSM, which is Mobile Security Manager. MSM is optional here, but it's advisable to create it, otherwise you'll get a lot of errors while starting up admin server. I have my Oracle database 11204 already installed on my virtual machine, which I'll be using to store OIM schema. I also have my LDAP, that is Oracle Unified Directory, already installed, which I'll use to show you how to enable and configure LDAP synchronization feature. If you want to know how to set up OUD from scratch, please watch my video on OUD. I'll leave the link in the description. And I also have JDK 1.7 installed on my virtual machine. Make sure you're using 1.7 version of JDK. 1.8 is not fully supported, and you might get issues during OIM configuration if you're using JDK 1.8. So better go with 1.7. And this is the software we'll be needing today. For Oracle Identity and Access Management, you need to download 3 zip files, and you need to download 2 zip files for SOA Suite and WebLogic Server generic jar file. You also need the RCU version 11.119 to create our repository. And before installing, make sure these operating system packages are installed on your server or virtual machine. The package version should be equal to or higher than the version specified here. Please do visit my blog on this topic for the list of all these packages and commands I'll be using in this video, along with the screenshots. I'll leave the link in the description, or you can click on the information icon on top right corner of this video. So let's get started with repository creation first. Make sure your database is running. So here I am in my software directory, and I have already extracted all the software here. So I'm navigating to RCU bin, and then execute repository creation utility. Okay, this is the welcome screen of RCU. Click next here and select create. Here you need to provide the database details. So in my case, my host name is Oracle Linux 6, port 1521, service name is ORCL. Then you need to use sys user here, and then your sys password. Now the DB prerequisites will be done. Make sure all the prerequisites are successful. Click OK. Here you need to provide a new prefix. I'll call mine as OIAM, and then expand identity management, and we'll be configuring identity manager, access manager, and mobile security manager. So select identity manager. You can see that other dependent schemas will be selected automatically. Then select access manager and mobile security manager. So the dependent schemas are metadata services, audit services, platform security services, and then BI platform and SOA infrastructure, and UMS, that is user messaging service. So make sure all these components are selected here and click next. And now the component specific prerequisites will be done. Make sure everything is successful here and click OK. Now you need to provide the password for your schema. You can either use same password for all the schema, or you can use a different password for each schema. This is the table spaces screen, so you can accept the default table spaces, or else you can customize your table spaces by clicking on this manage table spaces button. So I'm going ahead with the default table spaces. Click next. Then it will ask you for the confirmation to create the table spaces. Click OK. Now the table spaces creation process will start. Okay, now the table space creation is complete. Click OK. And this is the summary screen. You can click create here. Now the actual repository creation process will start. It should take approximately a couple of minutes. I'll just pause the video here and I'll get back when it's complete. Okay, now the repository creation process is complete. It took around 4 minutes 50 seconds. So you can click close here. Now we need to create a new middleware home by installing Oracle WebLogic Server. So at this stage you need to make sure that your Java environment is set properly. So this is my JDK path. So navigate to software directory and then execute java-jar and then your WebLogic jar file name. So this is the WebLogic installation's welcome screen. Click next here. You need to provide the path for your new middleware home. I'll call mine as U01 app Oracle product FMW and click next. You can uncheck the security updates here. Then you can select the typical installation, which installs WebLogic server and Oracle Coherence. Then verify your JDK path and click next. And these are your WebLogic and Coherence directories. You can leave them as default, or if you want you can change it here. This is the summary screen. Click next here and then your installation should begin. Okay, now the installation is complete. Uncheck run quick start and click done. So now our middleware home is created. Next we need to install Oracle SOA suite. So navigate to your SOA software directory, disk 1 and execute run installer along with the JRE location -JRE LOC and then your JRE or JDK location. Okay, this is SOA suite installations welcome screen. Click next here. You can skip software updates and click next. Now the prerequisite checks will be performed. Make sure all the prerequisites are met here and click next. Here you need to provide the same middleware home used during our WebLogic installation, and then you can provide the name for your SOA Oracle home directory. I'll call mine as Oracle_SOA and click next. And you need to select your application server here. So in our case it's WebLogic server. Click next. This is a summary screen and click install. Okay, now the installation is complete. Click next here and then finish. Now we need to install our Oracle Identity and Access Management software. So go to your software directory again. And then disk 1 and execute run installer along with the JRE location. Okay, this is the welcome screen. Click next. Skip software updates and then click next. Make sure all the prerequisites are successful. Here you need to provide the same middleware home again and a name for your Oracle home. I'll call mine as Oracle_OIAM. That's Oracle Identity and Access Management. And click next and install. So this will install all the product binaries into the same middleware home, and after this installation we'll be creating a domain and configuring Identity Manager and Access Manager. So I'll pause the video here and I'll get back when it's done. Okay, now the Identity and Access Management installation process is complete. You can click next and then finish. Now we need to create a domain for our Oracle Identity and Access Management. So navigate to IAM home, that's U01 app Oracle product FMW Oracle_OIAM and then common bin. So you need to run the configuration script from this directory. And this is your domain configuration wizard. So select create new WebLogic domain and click next. Here we need to select Oracle Identity Manager template and Oracle Access Management and Mobile Security Suite template. So as you can see, all the dependent templates will be automatically selected. That's Oracle SOA Suite, Enterprise Manager, BI Publisher, and BI JDBC, WSM Policy Manager, JRF, Platform Security Services. So once these templates are selected, you can click next. Here you need to provide a name for your domain. I'll call mine as OIAM domain, and I'll leave the domain location and application location as default, which is under your Fusion middleware, user projects, domains, and applications. Now you need to provide a password for your WebLogic administrator, that is WebLogic. Click next. Here you need to select a mode for your domain startup. I'll go with production mode and verify your JDK and click next. Here you need to provide details of your OIM schema. So I'll select all the schema here and then provide the common details. The DBMS service is ORCL, and then my host name is Oracle Linux 6. The port is 1521. Schema password is same for all the schema. And then I'll select one by one and provide the schema owner. So let me unselect. You can just replace this DEV with your schema prefix. In my case, it's OIAM. So I'll select one by one and change the prefix. Okay, so I have provided all my schema details here, and then click next. Now the JDBC connection test will be performed. Make sure all the tests are successful here. And click next. Here you need to select admin server and manage servers, clusters and machines. Click next. So you need to provide name, listen address and listen port for your admin server. I'll leave everything as default. If you want, you can change the values here. You need to configure your managed servers here. So I'll just rename my managed servers. I'll call WLS_OAM, WLS_SOA, WLS_OMSM. That's Mobile Security Manager. And then WLS_OAM-PM. That's OAM Policy Manager. Then WLS_OIM, that's Oracle Identity Manager, and then WLS_BIP, that's BI Publisher. I'll leave the listen ports as default. If you want, you can change them. Click next. Here you can configure the clusters. For the sake of demo, I'll just create a single node clusters. So let's say OAM cluster, OIM cluster, BIP cluster, OAM PM cluster, OMSM cluster, and then SOA cluster. Okay, then click next. and add the managed servers into their respective clusters. So BIP will go into BIP cluster, OAM into OAM cluster, OAM PM into OAM PM cluster, OIM, OMSM. This is not mandatory for your test environments. I'm just doing it for the sake of demo. And finally, SOA will go into SOA cluster. Click next. Next, you need to configure a machine. So as we are using Linux, so I'll just create a Unix machine. So go to Unix machine tab and then click add. You can rename your machine. I'll just call mine as Oracle Linux 6, and you can leave the port the default value. If you want, you can change it here. And then I'll assign my managed servers to the newly created Unix machine and click next. And this is the configuration summary screen, and click create here. Now the domain creation will begin. Okay, now the domain creation process is complete. You can click done here. Once the domain is created, before starting the domain for the first time, we need to create a database security store using configure security store.py script. So this should be executed once per domain. If you have created separate domains for OIM and OAM, you should execute it for both the domains. In my case, I have OIM and OAM in the same domain, so I'll execute it once. So navigate to Oracle common bin. That's U01 app Oracle product FMW Oracle common bin, and you need to execute configure security store.py script using WLST. So I'll execute WLST.sh, and then the path of your py script, that's U01 app Oracle product FMW, and then Oracle underscore OIAM common tools. So this is the location of your py script. Next, you need to provide the path of your domain using -d option. That's -d. Then let me copy the path. FMW user projects domains OIAM domain. Next, you need to provide the component name using -c option. In our case, the component is IAM. That's IAM. Next, you need to provide a password for your database security store using -p option. I'll just give my password as Oracle. And then you need to provide the mode using -m. So here you have two types of modes. You can either create a new database security store, or you can join an existing database security store. So if you have already created a database security store, you can add this domain to the same security store. So in our case, we are creating a new database security store. So I'll use -m create option. It will connect to your database and create database security store. Okay, you should see this create operation has completed successfully. So now our database security store is created. Now we can start up our domain admin servers and managed servers. Before that, we need to create a boot.properties file. So let me go to my domain home. That's user projects, domains, OIAM domain, And then I'll create a security directory, mkdir-p servers, admin server, and then security, and I'll create boot.properties under security. So that's vi boot.properties, and you need to provide your WebLogic username and password here. Username is equal to WebLogic and your password. Save this file. Now you can start your admin server using start weblogic.sh. So you can tail the log. It will take a couple of minutes. I'll just pause the video here and I'll get back when our admin server is started completely. Okay, my admin server is started in running mode now. Next we need to start our node manager. Before starting node manager, it's mandatory to execute set nmprops.sh script. Otherwise you might get a lot of errors while starting up your managed servers. So let me execute set nmprops now. So you need to execute it from Oracle common bin. So that's Oracle common bin, and then set nmprops.sh command. So once this is set, you can navigate to your WebLogic server bin. That will be under your Fusion middleware WL server 10.3 server bin. Then execute start node manager.sh. Okay, as you can see, my node manager is started on port 5556. Now let's access the WebLogic administration console and start our managed servers. Okay, that will be Oracle Linux 6 7001 console. Log in with your WebLogic credentials. Navigate to servers. Okay, these are the managed servers we created. I'll just start OEM related managed servers. So go to your control tab, select OAM, OAM-PM and OMS, then click start. Click yes on the confirmation screen. This should take around 5 minutes maybe. So I'll just pause the video here and get back when it's done. Okay, as you can see, all my managed servers are started. It took around 15 minutes for all these 3 managed servers to start. Now let's verify OAM consoles. So in 11.1.2.3 version, we have 2 consoles. The regular Oracle Access Manager console running on admin server, and OAM Policy Manager console running on OAM-PM managed server. OAM console, as you might know, is the main administration console with full functionality of Access Manager, and can be accessed at port 7001/OAM console. OAM Policy Manager console is deployed on OAM-PM managed server and does not contain full functionality of OAM console. It has only the policy administration functionality. In addition to this, you will have mobile security manager and mobile security access server sections on this policy manager console, and this can be accessed on port 14150 access. So let's first log into OAM console now. So that will be on Oracle Linux 6 7001 /OAM console, and log in with your WebLogic ID. Okay, this is OAM console's home page. So from this console you can administer your access manager, like creating application domains, host identifiers, creating authentication and authorization policies, and so on. Now let's access policy manager console, Oracle Linux 6 and then 14150/access. Okay, this is your policy manager console. So that's about Oracle Access Manager. So on my virtual machine I have 12 GB of RAM, but sometimes you might get out of memory exceptions when you have all 6 managed servers running on a virtual machine. So to save some memory, I'll stop OAM related servers. So let me select OAM servers and then shut down them. Okay, now my OAM servers are down. So let me start OIM related servers. So it's always better to start SOA first before starting OIM, because OIM is dependent on SOA. So let me start SOA. Okay, my SOA is started now, and it took around 8 minutes to start. Next I'll start WLS_OIM. Actually you can start OIM and BIP together. So let me start both of them. These two should take around 10 minutes. So I'll just pause the video again. Okay, my OIM and BIP managed servers are started now. It took around 12 minutes to start. So before configuring Oracle Identity Manager, we need to do LDAP pre-configuration. This is because I'm planning to enable LDAP sync. So I need to pre-configure my LDAP. In my case, I'm using Oracle Unified Directory. As part of this pre-configuration, we'll be creating 4 containers in LDAP and adding some OIM specific schema to our OUD. So let's start the pre-configuration now. So let me start my OUD. So I have my OUD instance created here. I'll go to my bin directory. Oops. And then start my OUD. So I have my Oracle Unified Directory running on port 1389, and my base domain is dc=oiam, dc=com. So if you want to know how to configure Oracle Unified Directory from scratch, please do watch my video. I'll leave the link in the description. So my OUD is started now. So we need to create LD file with the containers. I'll call my LD file as oiam.ldif, and then you need to add these values. So we have 3 containers here. I have my people's container created during the OUD installation itself. So I'm not adding that people's container in my LD file here. So people's container is used to store all your users and will be used for authentications. And OU=groups contains the application groups, which will be used for authorizations. And reserve is the temporary container for users. When a new user is created, it will be first created under reserve container and will be moved to users or people's container once it's fully approved. And then you have another container called as system IDs, which is used to create system IDs such as OIM admin and OAM admin, which are used to log into your OIM and OAM consoles after integration. So let me save this file. Now let's execute LDAP modify command to add these containers to OUD. So -h, that is our host name, in my case Oracle Linux 6, and then -port, that's 1389, and then the administrator username of your OUD, that's -d. In my case it's cn is equal to directory manager. Then you need to provide the password and the file name -f oiam.ldif. So this will create all these containers in your OUD. So if you want to verify the creation process, you can execute LDAP search command, again -h, -p, and then -w, the password, and additionally you need to provide the base domain as well during the LDAP search, that is -b. In my case my base domain is dc is equal to oiam, dc is equal to com, and then your search string, say for example let's search for ou is equal to reserve. As you can see, we have our reserve container created. Let me show you people container as well, which got created during the installation. This is our OU is equal to people, where we'll be storing all our user IDs. Okay, once your containers are created, we need to import OIM specific schema to Oracle Unified Directory. Okay, for that you need to navigate to your IDM tools directory first. So that will be under your Fusion middleware, Oracle _ OIAM, IDM tools, bin. So here you need to create a property file first. So I'll call my properties file as prepare. You can call anything, prepare id store dot properties. Let me copy the content. So this is the content. So you'll be specifying the details of your OUD or whatever LDAP you're using. So the ID store host, in my case Oracle Linux 6, and then the port number, the administrator username, cn is equal to directory manager, and then the username attributes, and then your containers, that is OU is equal to people, OU is equal to groups, and then your base domain, and your system ID is container, and then your OIM admin user. So this admin user will be created in your OUD. So if you are using OUD, you need to specify these last 3 lines. If you are using any other LDAP, you don't need these last 3 lines. So these 3 are specific to OUD. So this is your OUD administration port, and then your OUD key store file, and then you need to provide a password for your OUD key store. So that will be under the same directory. Let me go to another console. And the file name is admin key store .pin. So the password will be encrypted in this particular file. So you need to provide this password in your prepare id store.props. Okay, save this file. Okay, once your properties file is created, you need to execute idm config tool.sh script under the same directory. So before that, we need to set couple of environment variables. The first one is Oracle Home, export Oracle Home is equal to /u01 app Oracle product fmw, and then your OIM Oracle Home. Okay, and the next one is middleware home. So you need to set mw underscore home is equal to your fmw directory. Okay, now you need to execute idm config tool.sh. That's / idm config tool.sh, and then flag -prepare id store, and then mode is equal to OIM, and then your input file, that is prepare id store.properties. Okay, it's not input file, it's input underscore file. So it will ask you for your directory manager password. That's nothing but your OUD administrator password. And then you need to set a new password for your OIM admin. And then confirm your password. And the script will import OIM specific schema to your OUD. Now we can start our OIM configuration. So before starting, we need to set domain home environment variable. So let me set that export domain underscore home is equal to u01 app Oracle product fmw user projects domains OIM domain. So this is my domain home. So once this environment variable is set, you can navigate to your OIM bin directory. So that's fmw oracle underscore OIM /bin, and then execute config.sh. So this is OIM configuration wizard. So click next on the welcome screen. Here you need to select the component you want to configure. In my case, I'm selecting OIM server. Click next, and then you need to provide the schema details. So the connection string would be Oracle Linux 6 colon port 1521, and then service name ORCL, and then my OIM schema name would be OIM underscore OIM. That is nothing but your suffix which you have provided during your RCU or repository creation, and provide the password for your schema. And then again same for MDS, that would be OIAM underscore MDS, and then the password. Next you need to provide your WebLogic admin server details. So in my case it is Oracle Linux 6 colon 7001, and then your WebLogic username and password. Here you need to provide the password for OIM administrator, that is nothing but XCL sysadm, which is the super user of OIM. And for OIM HTTP URL, if you have load balancer in front of OIM, you need to provide load balancer URL here. Otherwise, you can provide OIM managed server URL. So in my case, it is Oracle Linux 6 colon 14000. And for OIM external front-end URL, if OIM is not front-ended with any HTTP server, you can leave this field blank, or else provide your web server URL, that is your OHS front-end URL. So in our case, we don't have any OHS in front of OIM, so I'm leaving this field as blank. And then I'm selecting enable OIM for suite integration, as I'm planning to enable LDAP sync. It's mandatory that you need to perform a previous step where we pre-configured LDAP if you want to enable LDAP sync. And then click next. Next, you need to specify the details of your LDAP. In my case, it's OUD. Okay, you can configure any compatible LDAP like OID or ODSE, that is Directory Server Enterprise Edition, Active Directory, or Oracle Virtual Directory. So in my case, I'm selecting OUD. You can specify any server ID, it doesn't matter. So I'll just leave it as default. And then your server URL, ldap:// Oracle Linux 6, and then port 1389. Then the user, administrator user, would be cn is equal to directory manager, and then your directory manager password, and then your search DN. So I'll just give my base DN. DC is equal to OIAM, comma, DC is equal to com. So you'll get a warning saying that you should have supported directory server and you have done the pre-configuration of LDAP. So we have done that already. So you can click OK here. Now you need to provide the containers here. So for role container, that's nothing but our groups container. That is OU is equal to groups, comma, DC is equal to com, comma, DC is equal to OIAM, comma, DC is equal to com. Next, our user container would be OU is equal to people. Then the reserve container, that is OU is equal to reserve. So provide these containers and click next. This is your configuration summary screen. You can verify the details here and click configure. And this configuration process again will take around 10 to 15 minutes approximately. So you can monitor the log file here. This is the log file location for any errors during the configuration process. I'll pause the video here and I'll come back when the configuration process is complete. Okay, the configuration process is complete now. You can click next here and then finish. And once your OIM configuration is complete, we need to execute one last step, that's LDAP post configuration. And this LDAP post configuration is required only if we have enabled LDAP sync during OIM configuration. So this utility enables LDAP sync related reconciliation jobs which are disabled by default in OIM. It also retrieves the last change number from OUD or whatever LDAP you are using and updates the reconciliation jobs. So the synchronization jobs will be based on this change number. So let's execute the post configuration utility now. So before that, you need to set some environment variables. So these are the environment variables which we need to set. app_server is equal to WebLogic, and then your Java home and middleware home, OIM Oracle home, that's nothing but your OIAM home, and then your WebLogic home, WL_home, and finally domain home. So it's mandatory to set these environment variables before executing post configuration utility. So once the environment variables are set, you need to navigate to /u01 app Oracle product fmw, and then your Oracle_OIAM server LDAP config util. So here you will have a properties file called as LDAP config.props. So you need to edit that properties file. We need to provide a couple of parameters here. So OIM server type is WLS. You can leave it as it is. Next, you need to provide OIM provider URL. That is nothing but your OIM managed server URL. So T3 colon slash slash Oracle Linux 6 and then your managed server port 14000. You can leave LDAP URL and LDAP admin username. We don't need these two parameters. These two are required only if you are using Oracle Virtual Directory. So in our case, we are using Oracle Unified Directory. So we don't need to specify these two parameters. Next, we need to specify the path of your OVD library file. So that will be under your fmw config OVD OIM. So in our case, it would be U01 app Oracle product fmw user projects domains OIAM domain config fmw config OVD / OIM. So these are the parameters you need to provide in this properties file. Save the file and then you need to execute LDAP config post setup.sh. So this is the script, and then you need to provide the location of the properties file. So here you need to provide the directory, not the properties file itself, and then execute this. It will ask you for your OIM admin password. That's nothing but your XCL SysADM password, which you have provided during your OIM configuration. So provide your password. Now it will connect to OIM and enable LDAP sync related reconciliation jobs. So the post setup.sh script completed successfully. So as we don't have any changes in our LDAP, the last change number would be 0, which will be updated in the reconciliation jobs. After running LDAP config post setup.sh, we need to restart admin server and all OIM managed servers. So let me do that quickly. Okay, now my admin server and managed servers are restarted. It took around 25 minutes to start the whole OIM stack. So let's have a look at OIM consoles now. OIM has two consoles, the main system administration console and self-service console. System administration console will be running on port 14000. So Oracle Linux 6 14000 / sysadmin. So you need to log in with your XCL SysADM and the password you provided during OIM configuration. So this is the system administration home page, and this is the main administration console of OIM. From this console, you can administer all OIM policies. You can administer system entities, system configuration, provisioning configuration, and so on. So that is our system administration console. Next, let's see identity console or self-service console, which will be running again on 14000 and then / identity. And during your first login, you need to set your challenge questions and answers. So this console can be accessed by any valid user in LDAP. It's not just for XCL SysADM. You can use any user ID to log into identity console. So I'll just set my challenge questions and answers. I'll just put some dummy values. And then submit. steps. Okay, this is your identity self-service homepage, and this is used for managing self user profile, like changing your passwords, updating your profile attributes, etc. And you can use this console to approve any pending requests if you are a manager or something. You can view your profile under my information. This is your basic user information. You can modify these values, your email ID, display name, etc. Then you can change your password from here. You can change your challenge questions or answers. So that is your identity self-service console. And that's it. You now have a working Oracle Identity and Access Management environment with Oracle Identity Manager and Access Manager configured. So if you have any questions, please post them in the comments. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. And please have a look at my blog on this topic for step-by-step instructions and screenshots. I'll leave the link in the description, or you can click on the information icon on top right corner of this video. I'll be making videos on how to protect web applications using OAM soon, and also how to integrate OAM and OIM. So please do subscribe to my YouTube channel and my blog to get notified when it goes live. Hope you all liked the video and found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button down below. That's all for today. Bye for now, and see you in the next one.